if you're going to bring out a new outdoor chair that goes down into one of these sausage-shaped bags, you probably have to do it better than everybody else has done it already, because there's so many chairs to choose from. And this Roban's Vanguard, well, I rather like it because you've got these padded armrests, it all feels very solidly made, and you've got these vented back panels so that you don't get all sweaty on a beautiful day like today. But what about if you're going to bring out a brand new Peugeot Boxer or Fiat Ducato with the same sort of thing, van conversion with a rear lounge? Because like outdoor chairs, there's already a lot of those to choose from. Well, Auto Explore is a brand new name in campervans. Has it got what it takes to stand out in this crowded market? Let's find out. Got a mirror here just to check that you're looking as gorgeous as usual. Quite a substantial area of fixed worktop at the end of the unit here, so that's a real plus. Enjoy a cup of coffee and all that fresh air and the view of the countryside. The good thing is that you can take a shower in here without using a shower curtain. There's nothing horrible to cling to you, because I can't remember seeing a Washroom Light before that works on a motion sensor. But if you come in here in the middle of the night, bing, it's actually 1.87 metres wide by 1.87 metres long. I think I might just sleep diagonally, star-shaped. Hello, I'm Peter Vaughan, and today I'm at the Caravan and Motorhome Club's Henley-on-Thames site with this Peugeot Boxer-based Auto Explore RL. So what exactly is an Auto Explore? It's a name you won't have heard of before because it's a brand new name in the industry. In fact, Webb's Motor Caravans, dealership based in Reading, but also with a branch in Salisbury, has been working on this project for the last year. They're not actually building them, they're built in the Midlands by a company called Ibex, brand new startup converter, but with plenty of experience in the campervan industry. And Webb's will be offering 3 models in the Auto Explore range. This is the RL rear lounge. There's also a front lounge model and a fixed bed model. Those are both on the 6-metre Peugeot Boxer, and this rear lounge one, the RL, is based on the extra long, the 6.36 metre long van. Some of the first examples of these Auto Explorers have been built on late used vans, but the intention is to go for the new market, so they'll be built on brand new Peugeot Boxers in professional spec so that you get the toys. There'll be a choice of colours, not just white, but the greys that Peugeot offer as well. They'll come with the 140 bhp engine and the alloy wheels, which are an aftermarket edition by Auto Explore. The intention then is to ramp up production. Initially, they hope to build 1 a week, and depending on getting the staffing levels and the availability of chassis, they hope to build 2 a week next year. So around 100 vans available, as I say, exclusively from the 2 branches of Webb's. Now, what do you get for your $59,995 if you buy one of these brand new? And that price applies to all 3 models. Now, along with the plan to build on new base vehicles, this is aimed to be a high quality product, not a bargain basement one. Although that 60 grand or just sub 60 grand price tag does suggest that it's going to be quite competitive. So this is the RL model, as I say, and obviously you've got the lounge at the back. You've also got these nice framed windows, not the cheaper caravan type that stick proud of the bodywork. And I should say that Auto Explorer's plan is to get these type approved. There'll be national small series type approval on these vehicles once things are up and running. Now, on this particular model, of course, you've got your cassette toilet servicing hatch here, your fresh water filler. Now, both water tanks are underslung. Fresh is 66 litres, waste is 50, a little bit on the small side maybe. Moving back, of course, alloy wheels, and then you've got your mains hookup point back here set into the bumper. What you haven't got is any external barbecue or shower points, but there's a standard spec. The only options on these vehicles, the standard spec is quite high. The only options will be leather and then a pack that will add a rollout awning, a Fiamma awning and a Fiamma bike rack on the back. A standard spec, as I say, includes the alloy wheels and also a TV aerial and a 100-watt solar panel on the roof. At the back, the Boxer's rear doors have the original Peugeot glazing, so this dark tinted glass rather than the double glazed plastic of the side windows. You don't get a reversing camera, but you do get reversing sensors as standard, so you shouldn't back into anything. Along the side, the near side rear lounge window is actually a slider, and that's a good thing because then it doesn't clash with the sliding door, and they haven't just gone for the easy option of fixing the windows shut. Then the usual top hinge window in the sliding door, again all nice and flush, all these windows. You've got a nice wide step, electric step for the sliding door. Switch is just inside the door on the back of the kitchen unit, and you've got these useful storage pockets here as well. And then finally on the outside, your wastewater drain, well, similar to the freshwater drain on the other side, these little old-fashioned fiddly taps that do get a bit mucky and a bit slow to drain down, but quite a lot of converters do still use them, unfortunately. That's all very nice, but the reason you'll buy an Auto Explorer RL is, well, the rear lounge, the RL bit. So let's open the back doors, and again you've got one of these little magazine pockets just inside the door, and of course also a hatch into the near side under settee locker. So my Robin's chair, slide in there, out of the way. No step here, but it's not too much effort to climb aboard. So this is the Auto Explorer's rear lounge, and very comfortable it is too. The settees themselves are 1.87 metres or 6 foot 1.5 inches long, but you've actually got a bit of a gap between the end of the sofa and the rear doors, which is about another 10 centimetres or 4 inches near enough. So a really spacious area in which to stretch out for two people. As you can see, I've got loads of room to put my feet up. There's a TV point on the wall over there, socket for the aerial 12 volt and main sockets as well, so you could easily mount a TV on the wall over there, although one isn't provided as standard. You'd have to negotiate with the dealer for that. What you do get is these nice corner reading lights. All four corners of the lounge have those, and each one has a built-in USB port. You also get these armrests and the Auto Explorer branded scatter cushions. Has a bit of a feeling of another popular make, doesn't it? Something with sleeper in the name, perhaps? Anyway, yeah, it's a very, very comfortable rear lounge. You've got curtains on the back doors, curtains as well as blinds on the side windows, and of course fly screens as well on those. You've got a big roof light up above, and it's one I haven't seen before. It's got a sort of sliding system, hinges from the front, tips up. It gives you a really good size roof light, and I really like it. I think it's better than the Hecky that most people use. I really like that one. What else have you got? Well, you've got these hatches into the under seat lockers. I'll show those in a bit more detail in a moment, because you can also get into the seat bases from above, and on the near side of course you've got that hatch at the back as well. Top cupboards, where you've got 3 down each side, plenty of room for folded clothes, or your guidebooks, all sorts of stuff can go up there. Try not to put anything too heavy high up, of course. Doors are flat, no fancy curved furniture in here, and they've got knock-on edging rather than edge banded, but all the furniture is 15mm birch ply, and there's a nice sort of solid feel to it all. You've got these double hinges. It's all nicely boxed in inside, so that there's no sort of untidy wiring on show or anything that you do see in some mainstream brands. Yeah, it does all feel very, very nicely finished. All this carpet trim, all the upholstery, all the detailing does feel very smart. I should mention too that as well as the reading lights, you've got this mood lighting along the top of the top lockers. Then there's a main socket down here, 2 blown air heating outlets, one either end of the sofa. Blown air heating comes from a Truma Combi 4 gas and electric system, and that does your hot water as well, of course. The carpet feels nice and plush underfoot. And then storage, as I say, you can get at it from the front or also by raising the settee on these gas struts, and for once they actually stay up. Now down at this end I've got 2 pillows, 2 single duvets, and at this end I've got my outdoor chair that you saw earlier, a couple of levelling wedges, and there's still loads of room. Over this side, not quite so much space, and things do seem to have been a little bit spread out. You've got your water pump at that end, your 110 amp hour leisure battery in the middle, and then your RCD and your caravan fuses, living area fuses at this end. You can still get at the bulk of the storage through this trapdoor as well as from above. I'd perhaps like to see the water pump boxed in so that you could use that area a little bit more, just a loose cover over the top, and certainly the leisure battery ought to be in a sealed container. Other than that, again, all nicely finished. And if you look over on this side, the insulation over the wheel arch, and I have seen photographs of the insulation going into the van before it was fully converted, and there is a great deal of effort in properly insulating the vehicle. It will be going to Truma's cold chamber for testing. That hasn't happened yet, but I wouldn't foresee too much of a problem having seen the level of detail that's gone into the insulation in this van. The table slides out from behind the driver's seat, and it is quite heavy, but it's a freestanding one, very easy to operate. Legs just unfold from underneath. Plenty big enough for 2 people, really a very good size indeed. So of course you can use the table outside as well, but the thing I really want to show you, and where layouts like this come into their own, is on a day like today. Perhaps it's too hot to sit outside, or you just want the comfort of your motorhome. Enjoy a cup of coffee and all that fresh air and the view of the countryside. It's too nice to be indoors, but hey, I've got a job to do and I need to show you the rest of this camper. Of course, the front half is your kitchen here on the near side by the sliding door, and your washroom over on the off side. The cab really plays no part once you're parked up. Cab seats, neither of them swivel. Pity really in the case of the passenger seat, because that turned round would give you somewhere else to sit if your partner was still in bed. Yeah, they fancied a lazy morning, you could have your breakfast up front here. So that perhaps is something that Auto Explore could consider. I've already seen these storage pockets on the end of the kitchen, but you've got another one round the corner there. No walk through, well, you've got to walk through into the cab, but not a full height walk through as you see in some of the latest camper vans. You've still got the original over cab shelf, so a bit of storage up there, perhaps for mains lead or whatever you like. Storage is useful up there, but just remember to stoop as you go through to the cab. And at night there's no blinds around the cab, no silver screens or anything. You just close the cab off with these full height curtains. Before I go into detail about the kitchen, it's worth noting that you've got a mirror here just to check that you're looking as gorgeous as usual. Somewhere to hang a couple of coats. I don't think I'll be needing that today. And over here, very simple to use control panel, and of course your controls for the trimmer heating as well. Decent amount of space in this entrance area, and the end of the kitchen unit is angled too to give that sort of wider walk through into the kitchen. Plenty of space here. Yes, you'd have to move out of the way if somebody wanted to come through to the washroom, but it's a decent width aisle. And what is really decent is the kitchen spec. It's got everything. Worktop, well, you've got a good sized flap at the end, as well as quite a substantial area of fixed worktop at the end of the unit here, so that's a real plus. Cooker itself is the Thetford triplex with the 3 gas rings and then combined oven and grill below. Stainless steel sink, of course, fed with hot and cold water from the trimmer system. Russell Hobbs 800-watt microwave above. You've even got Dometic cooker hood with lighting and extractor fan there. And then your fridge. Well, unusually for a camper van of this size, compressor fridges common in VW campers, but once you get up to this size, they tend to be 3-way models. Well, Auto Explore have gone against the grain. They've fitted a compressor fridge. It's a 90-litre Victory Frigo model, decent size, and I quite like that because compressor fridges get down to temperature quicker. They're less affected by the van being on a slope, and well, they're just easy because you flick them on, switch on the wall here, and that's all you have to do. Now, if you are camping a lot off-grid, you might want to upgrade the 110 amp hour leisure battery, perhaps fit a second battery, or go to a lithium battery instead, just to give you that bit more independence. You have got the solar panel though, don't forget that is standard equipment. Carrying on the electrical front, of course, your microwave will only work if you're hooked up, and then you've got a 12 volt and a mains socket behind the sink here. Not the ideal place perhaps, because really if you're going to use a toaster or a kettle, you're only going to be able to do that when the sink lid is closed. I'd rather have had a main socket down this end of the unit, perhaps adjust the position of the flap slightly and have a main socket or a couple of main sockets at this end. What else? Well, you've got plenty of storage, a nice big top locker here, good sized shelved locker at the end, and a locker under the oven as well. And a little flap under the sink. Not a lot of room in there, but hey, better than boxing it off. At least they've used the space. What you haven't got is any drawers. The only drawers I would rather use for clothes and so on, because they're over on this side of the van under the wardrobe. I would like a cutlery drawer and perhaps convert some of the other storage from cupboards into drawers. So you've got a well-equipped and in most ways well-planned kitchen, but as well as the washroom on the offside, you've got more storage. And the unusual feature in a layout like this is the wardrobe. It's really generous. Now, it's only sort of jacket or shirt length, 760mm drop from the hanging rail, but these double doors open to a very, very generous space. It's 820mm wide. And then under that, for folded clothes, underwear and that sort of thing, you've got really good size drawers, 2 of them, soft close, all nicely, proper cabinet construction, really nicely finished. And then underneath that, your gas locker unusually is, well, you're going to have to carry your gas cylinder when you change through the van, and it only holds one 6-kilo cylinder in there, but it is a properly sealed and vented compartment. And then alongside that is your combi boiler. That just brings us to the washroom, which of course is behind this sliding tambour door. And the good thing is that you can take a shower in here without using a shower curtain. There's nothing horrible to cling to you. You just use the shower head separate from the tap for the wash basin. Hot and cold adjustment on the wall here, plenty of room to use it, and well, as I say, no shower curtain. There is just one drain though in the shower tray, and I did find this morning that water rather collected at the opposite end, but that's no great shakes. It's not an unusual problem to have either. The toilet, usual swivel cassette loo, but it is mounted very high. Even with my reasonably long legs, it's a little bit too high. And then, well, there's no storage in here, none at all. You've got toilet roll holder, but and a toothbrush mug, somewhere to put your toothbrush, but nothing else. No cupboard, nothing. You've got a little mirror, but there's no storage behind that. No little basket or anything to put your shampoo and conditioner in when you're having a shower. Yeah, it does need the addition of some storage. And then the wash basin folds down, but well, you can see I'm not the fattest person or the largest person on the planet, and there's only just room for me to fold down the basin, and I'm a little bit self-conscious now that it makes me feel as if I've eaten too much. But hey, it is the usual sort of tip-up basin, not my favourite thing. The best part of this is that it works as a shower. Just one more detail before we move on, and that's the light, because I can't remember seeing a washroom light before that works on a motion sensor. So no fiddling about looking for a light switch, but if you come in here in the middle of the night, bing, it's a bit bright, bing. So that's the daytime facilities. What about at night? Well, draw the curtains and it does look nice and cosy in here, doesn't it? But these tie backs all have to go somewhere because they're not attached to anything. Now you've got a choice, single beds or a double. Either way, you need to get rid of all these armrests and scatter cushions. There's quite a lot of them to get rid of. And then if you're using the single beds, you'll need to get rid of both of these backrests too. Now you could stand at least one of them in the aisle, but probably you want to get rid of them into the cab so that you've got the full width of the aisle for walking through if you want to use the kitchen or the loo or anything once you're in nighttime mode. Of course, bedding is easy to access just under the sofa, as we showed earlier. So the beds are a really good size. 1.87 metres long is the actual mattress or settee cushion length. But you've actually got virtually 1.97 metres wall to wall, and that's the same both sides. Both single beds too are 700 millimetres in width. So good size beds. But then if you want to make a double, then it's simply a matter of pulling out the supports on either side. And you only need one of the settee backrests, so that just slots into the middle. Now I have tried turning the cushions over, various permutations, moving the cushions to the side and so on. Whatever you do, you are going to have this ridge, however you arrange the cushions. It's not the end of the world, because you're almost certainly going to sleep lengthways anyway for ease of getting in and out of the bed. But the amazing thing is, this is a square bed. It's actually 1.87 metres wide by 1.87 metres long. So a really, really good size. I think I might just sleep diagonally, star-shaped. My wife says I do that anyway. So the Peugeot bit of this Auto Explore, well, we've seen it a million times before, haven't we? This dashboard hasn't really changed much since 2007 when this style of Peugeot Boxer first arrived. Got the storage bin in the centre, very small sat-nav screen, but you have got sat-nav as standard. Reversing sensors, as I said. Driver's airbag on this one. I guess once they start coming through on new vans that they will have a passenger airbag as well, but not on this particular example. You've got cab air conditioning, cruise control. Yeah, so you've got the basics, and yeah, time to go for a drive. Oh, I should say, of course, that the cab seats are very nicely retrimmed with upholstered armrest, just one armrest. Yeah, let's go for a drive. So this particular Auto Explore isn't on a brand new base vehicle because it's one of the first off the line. In fact, it's done 13,000 miles and it's on a 21 plate. But it's pretty much like any other long wheelbase Fiat, Citroën or Peugeot to drive. Very stiff suspension, good stable handling. Steering's nice and light. The gearbox is a bit notchy on this one, much more into first than I've ever experienced before, but I guess it just needs a bit of adjustment. Visibility, well, there's no interior mirror, although that would give you some view through the back windows, probably not a lot because of the tinting on the glass. The side mirrors give you good visibility, but the key thing is there's virtually no conversion noise. Auto Explore have done a really I just heard the cooker lid chattering there, which it didn't do yesterday, so I've maybe not put it down quite right or something, but yeah, the conversion noise is very, very well subdued, which gives further credence to the fact that Auto Explore is aiming to be quite an upmarket product. So my final verdict on this Auto Explore RL. Well, there's nothing much new about the layout. This is a classic British design with the end lounge and near instant single beds. Of course, that is where much of the appeal is, but also in the fact that it's nicely finished, well made, and you've got a well-equipped kitchen as well. Generally, the spec is pretty good. There's a few things that you might miss, mainly the swivel on the passenger seat perhaps, but at 60 grand or 59,995, it is pretty competitively priced these days. That's on a brand new base vehicle. Weak points, well, key is the washroom, but nothing here that you probably couldn't live with. So Auto Explore is certainly one to consider if you're looking for a classic layout in a Peugeot Boxer van conversion. You'll see them at Webbs, both at Salisbury and at Reading, and at some of the forthcoming outdoor shows. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this latest video and our introduction to this new brand. Please don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to our channel. And of course, there's loads more motorhome content on our website, outandaboutlive.co.uk.